Right, we are here in Birmingham and we have just come out of the screening for Ballistic. And here beside me is the actual producer.
Producer and director.
I'm coming to that bit. Producer, director, everything else. You know what? This is Ranjeet. Introduce yourself, sir. Let's hear the people hear from you.
No problem. Hi, guys. My name is Ranjeet Esmar. I'm a filmmaker from Birmingham. And this is our first major nationwide movie, Ballistic. I mean, I've done loads before, but this is like the first one that's coming out on major scale, thanks to Max.
Right, and I mean, I'm here today. The atmosphere is amazing. The energy is great. And all I can say is after watching that film, I'm just left like this.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, how are you feeling as well with this film inside a major cinema?
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit nervous, to be honest, because normally, we come from big budget stuff, so I'm not as nervous because we've got a whole crew and everything behind us.
Nice.
But with this one, we kind of stripped it back to bare bones. We just all crew, and we were like, let's see what we can do with absolutely no money. And,
are you serious?
Yeah. Well, there was a fraction of what we normally work with, but it was intentional because we come from such a big world of spending so much money, and sometimes films, they do well, sometimes they don't do well. So we were like, let's just take a chance. Let's just see how it works with no money and just see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you've got to be so clever because you would never know that because everything was there. You know, we were there me and my camera crew and everything. We were just there, just so drawn in. I mean, how do you do this? How do you do this? Let's hear a little bit about that. How do you do that?
You do it when you have no money to go to film school, when you have no money to pay for crew. So you learn how to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
You learn everything from sound, from directing, from DOP, from lighting, from makeup, editing. So you just essentially become a one-man army. But what you do along the way is, I've been doing this for 15 years now. What happens along
Wow. You even look that old, Ranjeet, about 15 years. Get out of here.
I mean,
okay.
I just turned 36.
Look amazing.
Thank you. So along the way, you bring people with you that are going to stick with you and that believe in your vision. And they don't do it for money, they do it for the love of what they do. And you help bring a team together. You put a team together and you make something like this that essentially costs nothing, but the heart, soul, and passion is put behind it.
Beautiful.
And you tell stories that you would want to see rather than, I'm not bashing any of the movie. Every movie that comes out is great. But we're not Marvel, we're not DC, we're not Transformers. We don't have the $100 million budgets, so we can't do them kind of movies.
Sure.
And
Yet.
But you know what? And I said it's hand on my heart. As much as I love those movies, even if I had that budget, I still wouldn't make that kind of movie.
I get it.
I would want to make something personal. Like Ballistic is a personal movie, and it's something that affects so many people around the world, right? I mean, how many people do you know in real life that talk to cars, right? I don't know anyone. But I know that somebody that's gone through PTSD or somebody that's gone through DV.
I get it.
Right? So for me, it was more of an important story to tell. But tell it with my style and my unique thing that I like to add. I know there's a lot of violence in the movie, but for me,
no, there was no violence, man. You don't be silly. A lot of violence, by the way.
I'm an action guy.
Nice.
I come from a world of action filmmaking.
Love that.
So for me to tell a story about trauma and PTSD, but add and infuse my own thing into it, it's something more special to me, something more meaningful to me.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how much I can.
We can all relate.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can swear on this, but it's I wanted to make something where people actually give a shit about the characters.
Come on.
And not just about, oh, here we go, here's another fucking Fast and Furious number 25.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Andrew, I'm excited about you because you've obviously got some things coming up in the pipeline that you're wanting to, just show the world. I mean, do you reckon that you're going to go for it very soon?
Yes.
Or are you going for it?
I'm going to go for it. If you don't take the chance now, sometimes the chance will never come.
That's right.
Right? So you either take the chance while it's there, or you wait another 10 years.
Yeah.
I know about waiting 10 years.
Definitely not. And last but not least, just for those people that are watching, when did you first of all know that you were going to be a film director, producer? When did you know?
When I was 18.
Okay, what happened when you were 18? Because it's a big thing to know that, right, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because my dad is a big comic book fan guy. So what happens is that you kind of get influenced as from a young age, watching movies and reading comic books, and then somewhere along the line you become a bit demented and you start making violent movies. And,
I love that. I love it.
And I started making short movies, and then for like 10 years I was making short movies. I must have made, lost count, over 100 short movies, until some genius decided to give me some money to actually make a movie.
Nice.
And it just hasn't stopped since. And I've been making bigger movies until we did Ballistic, where I just kind of wanted to go back to basics. And I was getting a bit tired of the corporate.
Love it.
You know, like, we'll give you X amount of money, but you got to do it our way.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're going to dictate, aren't they?
Yeah, and I was like, that's fine, but I want to do my stuff as well. I don't mind doing the stuff. It's great. It's a great paycheck.
Of course.
But I like to do my stuff as well, because my stuff is equally as important. I mean, as an artist, if you're not doing anything that fulfills you, then you ain't doing what you was put on this earth to do.
Sure. And you clearly sound like you're that voice that just is just doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I say this without sounding egotistical. I mean, for me, I absolutely love what I do, and for me personally,
it shows.
Thank you. And for me personally, you know, I don't talk on behalf of anybody else. Just me. I'm the best at what I do.
Right? No, I'll pick you out. Yeah, Ranjeet. Make me a touch for that.
Right? And that's not me putting anybody down. Like, people are great at what they do, and, you know, more power to them. But for me personally, me, myself, and there's no one that can touch me.
I love it.
And I say that without ego. It's because I put
this.
15 years of grind into this. And if I don't think I'm the best, then I shouldn't be standing here with you.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm just blown away with this guy. I need to talk to him